And I love that this plane just happens to come through with this time lapse because it's like, oh, well, there it is. Boop, look at the plane, look at the plane, look at the plane, look at the blast. Boom, look at the plane, look at the plane, look at the plane. The plane, the plane, the plane. Boom. It's just curious to me because if I look a little bit closer, I pulled out some of these frames and I'll look at those a little bit closer too with the magnifier. But I just thought that was kind of curious because I come across a lot of really interesting information out there. And I want to take a moment to say thank you to Jaron from the Jeranism show. He had done a live stream the other day called Speaker's Corner. This is episode 3. And he allows people to call in, and you could do like a Skype thing or something too. And then there's other options. There's like all kinds of ways you can connect with the live show itself and be able to speak your mind. And you can pretty much talk about whatever you want. And it gave me another platform and another opportunity to share my recent captures and to share my channel. And I just really appreciate it. And I appreciate the new subscribers. And I'm getting close to 100 again. I had almost 500 on the one channel that was removed. But I figure when I get up to 100 subscribers on this one, which should be pretty soon here within the next day or two, hopefully, I'm gonna do like a little giveaway. I have some like interesting little gems and rocks and polished stones and things that I've done that I'd like to figure out a way to give away. So I'll figure all of that out. But I do appreciate all the new subscribers and the new views, and I appreciate Jeranism and channels like Marfugal giving me the platform to speak and share my videos. And I want to make a quick a channel recommendation to for Dane Wigington. I mean, this is the organization. If you want the resources to have the conversations with people that go beyond just the conspiracy thing, because myself personally, I'm done having the conversations with people that just want to dismiss it as a conspiracy theory. No, the only conversation I want to have with you is to educate you on the facts and give you the data and present you with the information and the resources. And Dane Wigington with the GeoEngineeringWatch.org, if you go to their site, you can go to this YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description. You click on the About. You can click the link here for GeoEngineeringWatch.org. And this is a treasure trove of information and resources. Some of it's downloadable, there's PDFs available, there's videos. I would suggest really, if you haven't already, watch the dimming and share it. It's very, it is very informative, and there are so many other videos that are just so highly informative, and they give you the resources, they give you the data, they give you the tools so that you can have the conversations with people that get us beyond having the conversations about whether it's a conspiracy theory, because it's not. It's happening. It's real. There's just so much information for people to share. And Geoengineering Watch has really gone above and beyond, and it's a gold mine of information. So I'll put a link in the description as well for that. But yeah, I'm with people like Catherine Austin Fitz as well, that where I'm beyond having these conversations about conspiracies and stuff when it comes to geoengineering and climate change and climate manipulation and weather modification and all of that. We're done having those conversations. That's what a lot of these people in charge need to understand, that we're well aware of what you're doing and what is going on in the skies and in our environment around us. And it is an insult to our intelligence to continue with this whole thing surrounding conspiracy. It's time for you to own up. Seriously. And more people need to be aware, and more people need to get past um that phase where you're just so uncomfortable because you don't want people just looking at you like you're some kind of a nutbag. I'm done. I'm over that. And if somebody right off the bat comes at me with, go put your tinfoil hat on and hide in your Faraday cage, oh, it's on. Let me educate you. You know what I mean? I'm just waiting for these younger generation here with the new school year starting to come and canvass at my door and try to tell me about global warming, because I've got the materials ready to educate these kids. And that's what's going to happen too, folks. The new school year's coming. They have a whole new batch of global warming propaganda that they're going to send out with your kids, that they're going to be bringing home, and they are going to be laying on the guilt trips hard. especially on the older generation, trying to, make the older generation and their parents to feel guilty for destroying our planet. Oh, you're killing our planet with your big truck, Grandpa. Stop going to the lake. You and Grandpa don't need to go around and drive around the lake and enjoy your golden years. You're ruining our planet. That's the type of propaganda they're spreading, folks, and it's coming. But it's very, very real, and we need to really have the tools in hand to educate some of these kids when they start coming around and pitching all of their stuff. They need to know the truth. They need to know the facts. And the people in charge that are doing all of this stuff are really not doing humanity any good when they continue to bury this information and continue to prevent people from actually making informed decisions on what they say and do and how they perceive the world. Your influence on people is not in their best interest when it comes to this. You're doing more damage than good. It's time to realize that your cure is way worse than natural occurrences. But this article here, I'll put a link in it. This is from Harvard, of course. Direct carbon capture. In their little illustration here, they talk about aerosols and cloud brightening. Tiny aerosol particles injected into the atmosphere can enhance the scattering of light. Well, how would you inject them into the atmosphere if not carry them through your planes through atmospheric spraying or from detonations of certain things? And we look at, let's see, we look at aluminum. This is why people like Dane Wigington and GeoEngineeringWatch.org, they have they have so much information. They've done their own testing, they've done their own lab tests, rainwater tests, they tell you how to test. And they put the information out there, and they've been doing the research for a long time. And when they are testing the skies, and they are testing and they are coming across these components like aluminum and strontium and barium and different things like that in our atmosphere that do not occur naturally. Okay, these things do not occur in this form that they are detecting naturally. Okay, they're engineered. And we look at aluminum, high electrical and thermal conductivity. On a volume basis, the electrical conductivity of pure aluminum is roughly 60% of the international annealed copper standard. But pound per pound, aluminum is a better conductor of heat and electricity than copper and is surpassed only by sodium, which is a different. And reflectivity. Aluminum can accept surface treatment to become an excellent reflector, and it does not dull from normal oxidation. Finishability. Aluminum can be finished in more ways than any other metal used today. It can be polished, it can be made to reflect the sunlight and the heat. Okay, so when I come across articles like this from Harvard, and there are literally thousands of these publications from these universities and these professors and these so-called scientists, where they are talking about their global warming mitigation techniques, and we know this is going on. We know that it's happening. And we want to know why you're being allowed to continue to do it, because there's all kinds of proof and all kinds of evidence that would suggest that it's doing more harm than good. And then I have these captures like this, that after this like blast thing occurs here, and then it's like a unicorn exploded in the sky with all these little sparklies coming down in the camera view. This, I mean, you're doing it. We know that you're doing it. And I'll look through those stills really quick here. Let me pull them up in the Finder. Yeah, there they are. I'll go through these really quick, and we'll look at them with the magnifier for a couple of minutes. Uh, and then I'll end this video. Open with preview. Close that. There's the preview. Let's close that. I'm going to get rid of this too. So I'll put links in the description to all of this information that I featured in this video here. Let's get rid of that. We'll make this bigger. Yeah, there's the single frame right there. That's actually like showing that blast. Oh, it didn't pull all of them frames out of there. Come on now. You gonna do this? All right, let's see. Oh, wait, let's just move them over into here real quick. Let's see. Yeah. And then you can show the magnifier, and you can see it almost looks like the end of a cannon or something right there. But the trajectory of this, whatever this was coming up from ground level. You can see how it's going up and at an angle like that. If this was like an asteroid or a meteor or something coming into our atmosphere, that blast, that arc would be more aimed towards the plane end. But it's more aimed up, like whatever that was, you know, coming from ground level or from that direction and shooting out. And here's these little specks and these little things. Some of it might be, you know, like I said, some of it is probably insects and stuff too, but there's just so much of it that ends up raining down. If you could look right there, right in the middle. Let me go back up there to that one. Yeah, it looks like there's another right in the middle there. Looks like another little blast that occurs, but yeah, there's another one of the little specks that appears. And it's to me, it's just obvious. It's just too obvious in what's going on. And I can't just continue to turn a blind eye. You know, here's a close up of it. And I can't continue to just dismiss it, you know, as if it's not happening. I'm not going to keep turning the blind eye and ignoring it because it's doing damage. And this last weekend when that, you know, when that came through, when this thing came through and did this again, I mean, this is not the first time that I have captured this type of high energy activity in this direction. Nature doesn't repeat itself like that. Nature don't, you know, have that type of a consistent pattern with certain things. And this is just too coincidental that, you know, I'm just not buying it. Somebody somewhere knows exactly what was going on here. And you need to realize that you don't have public sentiment. You do not have true, genuine public sentiment. You have bought and paid for sentiment. And that is way different than actual consent from the public and from humanity. So enough is enough, folks. I'll put links in the description and you can do your own research into geoengineering, and I suggest that you do. Please do. Please do. And please have the conversations with the younger generations. I know it might be uncomfortable for some people to have the conversation with their kids because their kids are coming home from schools and from these different organizations and with their friends. Sorry, didn't mean to touch the mic. And they're, you know, they're presenting all of this information, and it's hard to debate and argue with a child. But you don't, that's the thing, is you don't need to debate and argue with a child. All you need to have is this data, the data that was coming from geoengineeringwatch.org in hand, and have these you can refer them to these videos. You can refer them to geoengineeringwatch.org, and they can start spreading that information amongst their little circle of people too. And maybe we can counter some of this propaganda that's going to be, you know, pushed out there so heavily in the next year. So, you know, I'll put a link in the description. Share it, please, and keep a heads up, folks.